we saw that Drake dropped the lawsuit.
Oh.
And when we saw that, I was like, okay, boom, he dropped the lawsuit. This is it. And of course, I saw that on TMZ.
This is so weak to me on Drake's part. I am shocked he's doing this.
Big Boys Neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. This is a hell of a way to be back for 2025, and that's with Harvey Levin from TMZ. Harvey, welcome back to the neighborhood, bro.
Thank you, big boy.
Man, it is a pleasure, first off, to see you. The world, man, you know, for the last few years, the beginning of the years have been very odd. Our Januaries have been very odd, man, and I think we just jumped onto another one when we talk about these wildfires, but we'll speak about that. But what I do want to speak about...
By the way, big boy, not just the wildfires.
Right.
In the first 10 days, we had 2 terror attacks and these incredibly devastating fires in the first 10 days.
How busy are you over at TMZ right now?
I mean, we're incredibly busy, as everybody is. But look, just like you, we live in LA.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody here lives in LA. We have people who lost their homes, displaced, know how many people, I mean, I'm sure you do as well, lost their homes. It has impacted this city. Look, I've been here most of my life. I was born here. I was a local reporter in LA for many, many years, covered fires, earthquakes, floods, everything. I have never seen anything like this.
That was going to be my question, man. And I was telling people I'm from here. This is turf for me, home turf. And I've never felt winds like that. I've never seen fire and devastation like that. And we're so used to not used to, but we'll see, you know, pray for such and such, hashtag pray for such and such. And now it's pray for LA. We're seeing things now, man, that we've never seen in our lifetime, Harvey.
It's cataclysmic. Yeah. And, you know, the prospect of having to rebuild huge swaths of this city just is unimaginable right now. I don't know what the future of LA is after something like this. Honestly, it is. And again, I've seen it all. I've reported it all. And this is unique.
Yeah, and it's so widespread as well, Harvey. And I remember with the Rodney King riots, there were a lot of neighborhoods that didn't come back after that. You know? Yeah. So I think now.
By the way, big boy, I covered that. Yeah. I was there.
Yeah.
And
I was out there looting. You probably covered me. I probably ran past you.
Were you by USC at one point?
Yes, I was. Yes.
But no, I mean, I have all of those things that I've covered just don't compare to what we've seen in the last week. It's just unbelievable.
And you know, and hopefully there is an end in sight. But right now, and I mean, I'm watching Harvey. I'm watching small containments. I'm watching as the containments would go from 3 to 6, then back down to 3. So anything that I'm seeing on the containment side, I'm like, thank God. But it's going to be a lot of work and years before we start to see something that looks normal to us, bro. Have you had a chance, Harvey, to go out and look at like Palisades, Altadena, or anything like that? Because now that we're seeing that you can go and people are looking at their properties, people are looking at their homes, you're getting a different picture now. Have you been able to see anything?
We haven't gone to either the Palisades or Altadena, but we have seen plenty.
Yeah.
And I have, staff members who live there. You live in Altadena and live in Pacific Palisades and displaced. I'll tell you a story. Over the weekend, we went to a restaurant and it's inside a hotel. And it was packed. The whole place was packed. And what I realized was everybody eating there, they were displaced. They were bringing their pets to the table and whatnot. And you look around, people are crying at the table. And you just look at them and you just realize, 1 minute they're living their lives and the next minute they're homeless, they're devastated. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. If they have kids, they don't know where they're going to go to school. They've lost their jobs in many, many cases. I mean, it's not just homes, it's businesses.
Right.
It's people who worked in homes. What are they going to do? So the ripple effect of this, big boy, is just so vast that it is like a tsunami that just kind of washes over the whole city.
And I don't think people really understood what was going down early on, because I even heard comments of like, "Oh, it's Palisades. They're rich. They'll build back up." And then once I saw it hit, like, what about Altadena? What about the people that did work? Like, even to the point of Harvey, where even just traffic, what traffic felt like, with the air. So this has affected everyone, yeah, in some capacity. I was speaking with a buddy of mine yesterday. Before I got on the radio, I was a bodyguard for a rap group called The Far Side. And I was speaking to Romai from The Far Side, and his mother lost her home. 45 years in Altadena. And it's wild because this guy got platinum and these records and everything. But the one thing he said is, man, I wish I would have made it out with pictures. I wish I would have made it out with pictures. He lost his father last year, and he didn't think about saving a car, didn't think about, saving any career accolades. He's just like, I wish I would have made it out with my pictures.
I've heard that from other people too, that, when you've got 2 minutes to get out, what do you take? Yeah. And there are a lot of people, big boy, that never got to their homes, right? Because they were at work, and all of a sudden their area is closed down and the neighborhood's on fire, so they can't get in to get anything, including their pets. It's unbelievable.
And then when you see, and I always tell people, like, man, we're thinking rational for the irrational. I would never do this. But when I saw that people were putting on, firefighter uniforms and the looting and going into people's homes, I'm like, really, when people are down, this is what we do? You really think that this is your come up, your opportunity to get something?
There are some really bad people out there, and that's what they are doing. You're right. On the other side of it, though, you and I have lived in LA for a long time, and I don't know how you feel about it. Generally, day to day, there's no sense of community in LA because it's so spread out that you don't connect. If you live in, I don't know, Hollywood, you don't connect with the San Fernando Valley or Orange County or anything like that. When you have disasters, like, how many people have started conversations with you by saying, "Are you okay?"
Yes.
And everybody's asking that, and they mean it. It's not this obligatory thing you're supposed to say. People are really saying it. And there is this intense sense of community when you have a disaster like this in a city that doesn't really have a community. And somehow that happens when you see something like this. But I have been amazed at how much people care about people they run into, just making sure they're okay. I haven't heard that much. Have you?
Right. And I've seen it now, and more people are checking in with each other. But total strangers. I was at my son's basketball game last night, and that's the first thing you ask: "Are you good? Are you okay? Okay. Anyone else?" And I think everyone, Harvey, everyone has some kind of connection or some kind of story.
Everyone.
And I think that this is something that we're going to have, God willing, it'll never kind of just go away in conversation and care and being there for your neighbor and even people that you don't know, the GoFundMes, the donations. Hopefully we'll continue to see this through where, it doesn't become, it's buried now. And that's why daily we get on the air, Harvey, and we speak about the firefighters, we speak about, the wind, bringing people up to date, what people need, going down and doing the Dream Center and taking care of people, because it's really up to us. And we don't know what kind of aid is coming. We don't know what's going to happen for California after the inauguration. You know what I'm saying? So we got to continue to take care of each other. On another note, I do want to ask you about, we saw that Drake dropped the lawsuit.
Oh.
And when we saw that, I was like, okay, boom, he dropped the lawsuit. This is it. And of course, I saw that on TMZ. Then it couldn't have been, they say 12 hours later, it was like Drake is suing. So what lawsuit did he drop? And what lawsuit did he pick up?
This is so weak to me on Drake's part. I am shocked he's doing this. So he's suing Universal, his label, and Kendrick's label, right? He is not, and he's suing for defamation because that in Not Like Us, Kendrick uses the word pedophile, and Drake's understandably angry about that. But he is suing Universal for defamation because words like that are used in the song. But he's not suing Kendrick.
Right.
Kendrick is the one who wrote the song. Kendrick is the one who performed the song. Kendrick is the one who performs it live. Kendrick is the one who's probably going to sing it at the Super Bowl. So then the question, why would he sue Universal for publishing it, but not sue the guy who's behind it? And
Right.
the only answer I could get is, well, defamation is defamation, but business is business, and I'm going to get dragged, so I'm just not going to do that. And I just think that's really weak.
Yeah, I didn't quite, even when we were on air speaking about it, I didn't quite understand it. You know, and I would think with a broad stroke, yeah, you would bring Kendrick, you would bring Mustard and those kind of things, but is it a bigger picture when you say I'm going against Universal Music Group?
I mean, I think the picture is he's afraid to sue Kendrick because that's the easiest one, and that's the first one. And yet he didn't sue him. And I think it's because he's afraid. I mean, look, there was this war. Kendrick won it. But I think Drake is showing fear by not suing Kendrick along with Universal. And then the other thing about Universal is he's saying, look, he believes that Universal put this out intentionally to devalue Drake so that in the next contract negotiation, which is coming up soon, they could pay him less. That is crazy to me, that the idea that his own label would try and torpedo him so that they would, because if they ruin his career intentionally, they're going to make less money by definition, whatever they pay him. If Drake's up here, Universal's up here. If Drake's down here, that's where Universal is too.
Right.
So why would they intentionally destroy him? For what? I mean, how is Universal going to benefit from that? It doesn't make sense to me.
Hey, Harvey, do you know what this TikTok ban means?
Yeah.
Right.
It means TikTok can go away.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing? Because I'm hearing that, okay, maybe somebody here could grab it. You're hearing Elon Musk name. You're hearing Mr. Beast name, Meek Mill name got thrown in, you know, but is
Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. Is it really a thing? Because I hear like, oh, well, you know, it can stay around for another year. It could be gone in 2 years. You could sign up now and download and you'll get grandfathered in. Like, what is this TikTok ban?
Well, the ban is that unless Chinese government divests itself, meaning selling it, it's gone Sunday. It's gone. It will be illegal in the United States. Yes, I've heard those names, and the buzz I'm hearing is the Chinese will not sell it, that they will not sell it. Now, that may be wrong, and maybe there's something secret going on, but I haven't heard anything material, and the buzz I'm hearing is that they are not going to sell it. They are going to hold it.
So does that mean by Sunday it could disappear? Or
yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Let me
that's the
tell you,
deadline.
and maybe I'm just on some other stuff right here, Harvey, and I trust you and I trust TMZ. Have you heard or do you know of anything that people want TikTok to disappear right at the time when I got 1 million followers? Because come on, this Harvey, I'll see you now, you're laughing. Now let me tell you, I literally, yesterday, they saw me creeping to 1 million followers on TikTok. You don't feel that it's strange, Harvey Levin, that right when I hit 1 million, this pops up like, oh, it could be gone Sunday. Like, talk to me about what you guys know.
I'm going to jump on this, big boy.
Yeah, please do.
You got a theory there.
So you hadn't heard anything? So this isn't something that's been brewing?
You know, now that you say it,
right?
It does seem very
because
coincidental.
you knew the Kevin O'Leary thing, you knew Meek Mill, you knew Mr. Beast, you know, you knew everybody, Elon Musk, but you hadn't heard anything like, oh, when Big get to 1 million, he's creeping up on this. And okay, I'll take your laughter. It's probably not. Hey man, I just thought so because there's a lot of conspiracies out there, man. And I was talking about.
Hey,
maybe
we're on it. We are.
Please do, man.
Over it. We are
Please do.
all
The
over it.
person that's over your shoulder right there that's kind of touching it, can you put that person on it right now and just tell them personally that this is their assignment to make sure?
She's a writer and not a reporter here, but I'll put somebody on it.
Okay, well, tell her to write something so somebody can report it.
Everybody, Big Boy thinks that the TikTok ban is because he just hit 1 million followers. So we need to get on it.
Did you hear somebody? Somebody said, I believe it. Tell them to drop all this Cardi B Offset stuff. Drop that. The Drake lawsuit, drop it. Celebrities.
Forget everything you're working on. Figure out if there's a connection to TikTok and Big Boy. They're on it.
Man, thank you so much, man. And tell them to also look into that Brad Pitt scam. Just
Oh my God.
Dude.
That's crazy.
Can we talk about that, Harvey?
Oh my God.
Did he get the lady for like $850,000 or something like that?
She divorced her husband and used the property settlement to send money to this fake Brad Pitt.
That is crazy, man. And you know what's crazy? When I look at the pictures, I'm like, no one around you said, hey, that's an AI or that. I know that guy.
And a bad one.
Yes,
and
man.
And you would think she's like 95 years old, right? He was 53.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
I know.
Dude, Louis literally brought that up, that, man, she's 53 years of age.
Crazy.
You know, at some point, you never want to blame the victim. You never want to blame the victim, but at some time you got to go, You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm a victim of TikTok and she's a victim of Brad Pitt.
Yeah, you're in the same bucket. That's right.
Man, it's crazy. Who would have thought that my 2024 would have started off like this with TikTok coming after me for getting to 1 million subs, man?
I'll tell you, I love the theory.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Do you have any insight on Cardi B Offset? The beef is going down. She put out some. She was just social media.
Yeah, I mean, God, this has gone up and down so many times, you know, that I wouldn't be surprised if they get back together. I don't know about you, but it goes up and down like this, you know?
Yeah, man. And she hit him with this.
You love your kids so much and you bought them for Christmas.
You love your kids so much you done buy them S for Christmas. Like, you know, remember back in the days, Harvey, when you had you had a misunderstanding with your significant other, whatever, big or small. And y'all would have like a little situation probably in the house on the phone. Now it goes to like 30, 50, 80 million followers. Like, it's wild how much we get onto social media now to air out our issues.
It's unbelievable to me. It is one of the unhealthiest things that I've seen in my lifetime, the way people have to magnify using a bullhorn every time they get into a beef with somebody. And that's just the way of the world right now. And there's no such thing.
Has anyone heard anything about TikTok canceling Big Boy? TikTok selling because Big Boy got to 1 million. Does anybody hear that on the bullhorn?
Thank you so much. Hey, Harvey, while I have you here, we do have to talk about the newest TMZ Investigates. I've been waiting on this one, bro, because this has been a story with Luigi, and it's wild that this guy's like a sex symbol, everything now. But what's the breakdown, and what does TMZ investigate?
So we have a documentary that is that has dropped now on HULU, and it's called Luigi Mangione: The Mind of a Killer. And I can tell you a couple of things. Number one, his beef was not healthcare. His beef was corporate greed. Healthcare was just a symbol of that. And we know that. And we have literally, doing this documentary, we've been to Hawaii, New York, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Thailand, India. We've been all over the world because he has so many connections. For example, there's a guy in India, in Mumbai, who wrote a book on corporate greed. He was so obsessed with this book that he tried to buy 400 copies to support the author. He printed it out, annotated it, flew to India, and sat down with the author to tell him how he could have made the book better. He was an obsessive guy. And he also, there's no doubt in my mind, based on what we did in this documentary, he has a mental illness,
right?
Which then raises an issue, pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. I think they're going to go that way because there's so much evidence. They're not going to say it's not him. And I don't know. I mean, look, when you pick a jury, it takes one person to block conviction. So I don't know. What I do know.
What did you learn?
That all of the support, Big Boy, I think 80% of it is because he's good looking.
Right.
I really do.
Yeah. And we'll see that. We will see. Is there anything with the TMZ Investigates that you had a chance to learn that we didn't know that's more under the surface? Like, I didn't know about him going to buy the books, and like when you guys go to TMZ Investigate, y'all go deep.
Oh, this documentary is going to really put it all in perspective. You're going to understand what happened here. By the way, it wasn't like a month or two. We talked to these people in Germany who traveled with him for a week and a half in Thailand. They met at a hostel and they traveled together. And when they went to the beach in March, he was at a shooting range.
Oh.
He was using an alias in San Francisco back in June. So this was something he planned for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And when I talk about mental illness, I think one of the most interesting things is this. His mom, who he hadn't talked to in more than 6 months, had filed a missing persons report. She thought he was in San Francisco. So she files it in San Francisco in November. Then the murder happens, and the police see the picture she sent, and they look at it and say, it looks like this guy. So they call the mother, and she says, well, I don't know if that's him, but it sounds like something Luigi might do.
And that's the mother. When I saw that, I was like,
mother.
What do you think happens from here? You say you think they could plead out insanity guilty? I mean, by reason of insanity? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see another play they've got. But I think what they are going to look for is finding a jury where they just ignore the law. It's called jury nullification. And they do look, more people under 30 support what he did than oppose it.
Yeah.
And you sneak one or two of them in the jury, you're not going to get a conviction.
Hey, man, it was so scary when I saw people that were saying, oh, he deserved it. I'm like, okay, I can understand healthcare. It's not the best at all. But a person married with 2 kids, like the human side kind of takes me to where it's like, damn, like, is this what we're really applauding here? Like,
that's what they're applauding.
Yeah, man.
That's what they're applauding.
And so that's available right now on HULU as I speak to you.
TMZ Investigates Luigi Mangione, The Mind of a Killer.
Man. Well, Harvey, I thank you so much, man. And I thank you for turning around to the entire staff and having them work on my TikTok theory as well, bro.
I will let you know. I'll try to find it out by Sunday, Big Boy.
Okay, should I come down there today, or you guys are on it?
We're waiting for you.
Okay. I'll come down, man, and we'll uncover and see what's going down with TikTok and see if we can save this thing by Sunday. You know what I'm saying? For everybody here and for the world. Harvey Levin, thank you so much, man. Thank you for always checking in with us, bro. And like I say, we go to you first because we're one of those people, a show that when we hear something, we'll ask, where did it come from? And when we hear TMZ, we could take it and we could run with it. I appreciate you, Harvey Levin.
And right back at you, big boy.
Thank you. Harvey Levin right there, TMZ. For some reason, I don't think he's going to really look into this TikTok thing. oh, my bad. All right, Harvey. Have a good one. Peace.
We'll see you, man.
Thank you, my brother.